This, I think, would help your practice a little bit. The first one is, this is a guide to understanding a residential appraisal. Okay? Now, one thing I don't like to do at the foundation is we go to the expense of writing something, and we actually have to pay for these photos of people that we've never met before and put them through this whole thing. And then you put them in a publication storeroom and it never sees the light of day. Well, that was a great exercise. So here's what we're trying to do. This one is designed for two audiences. One, as most of you know, borrowers get a copy of their appraisal 3 days before closing. They get it. They're not even sure if they're holding it up right or not. What's the comparable? What did the appraiser do to come up with that number? This explains all that. And it's written in a way that a consumer who's doesn't know how many P's are in the word appraisal will understand it. So that's one thing we're trying to do. We're working with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to try to get this perhaps in the settlement documents when people close a loan. The realtors want to co-brand it and put their name on it. The other thing we're doing is we've met with several consumer groups, and they put on courses for first-time home buyers. They put on courses for low-income home buyers, where you go Monday nights for 8 weeks for an hour. And we've noticed there's no valuation component in there at all. So we want to put in there why you should care about an appraisal and the value of the biggest asset you're probably going to own in your life. So I mention this to you because these are free, and if I was in your shoes, and I don't know how many, when you go over to someone's house to appraise their house, if you put your business card on the back of that and just have that as a leave behind, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it has the foundation logo, it mentions NIFA in it. I mean, it's a pretty good deal, so give some thought to that. They're free. I think if you want 1,000 or something, we're going to probably have to charge you something like that. You can download them from our website. They're on our website. You just download them for nothing. Here's the second one. Appraisers, appraisals, and you, a lender's guide to USPAP. Most of your clients are lenders. One of the problems we've had is that Dodd-Frank and the whole appraiser independence thing has been misunderstood to some degree. And a lot of lenders are, I'm not talking to the appraiser, I'm going to get in trouble. So you're radioactive all of a sudden. Well, you can't do a good job if your client isn't talking to you. So we're hoping that by looking at this, they'll have a better idea of what your obligations are. Secondly, we're working with the American Bankers Association to get this distributed at their conferences. And then lastly, there's something called the Conference of State Bank Supervisors. Every state, including New Jersey, has some type of state banking commission. And the Conference of State Bank Supervisors is essentially the National Association of State Banking Commissions. They put on a lot of education for examiners. And we had one state regulator in Kentucky put on a day-long seminar for examiners in Kentucky. And he was stunned. Most of them had never heard of USPAP. The questions they asked were unbelievable. And these are the people who are going in and looking at appraisals to determine whether or not they're consistent with USPAP or not. It was received very well. The Federal Reserve Bank Federal Reserve Board learned about it. They're putting on 3 more in Kentucky. They have 1,000 people signed up for this thing. Anyway, now working with the foundation, we want to have that same one-day course put online so that every state banking commission can learn about this. I think it's good. I think it's good for everybody, because if examiners can weed out the people that are dragging down the profession, I think we're in good shape. We have other free brochures. Again, if you just want to have them in your office or whatever, how to enter the real estate appraisal profession, not so much, you're already there. Why you should engage a professional appraiser, not a bad one to have. The Appraisal Standards Board and USPAP. Again, they're on our website, they're all free. Alternative valuation products, that alphabet soup, AVMs and BPOs and CMAs and reconciliation reviews and whatever else you can think of. We are in the process of writing a white paper about those, because when we talk to people, that maybe a group of this size, they all have a different idea of what is an alternative valuation product. I mean, where the line stops and starts. So what we're trying to do is define what they are, discuss a little bit about their credibility and reliability, why are they ordered instead of appraisals, and then that whole blurred line of alternative valuation products and appraisal practice, and can appraisers do all that, and aren't they violating USPAP, and that whole thing. When we get the white paper done and we kind of get buy-in that everyone agrees this seems to be kind of what the issue is, we're thinking about putting on a day-long symposium on this very topic with various panels. We originally asked to put on the symposium earlier this year, But frankly, when you went through all that list I was just saying, and you say, it depends, check with your state, it depends, check with your state, that doesn't make for much of a symposium. So we're trying to define issues a little bit more before we move forward. Evaluation of green buildings. Last year, we were approached by the White House, believe it or not, regarding their Better Business Challenge. The Better Buildings Challenge, pardon me. Their Better Buildings Challenge is they want commercial buildings, existing commercial buildings, to be 20% more energy efficient in 2020, retrofitting buildings. So as part of that, we signed a 5-year memorandum of understanding between the Foundation and the U.S. Department of Energy, which is the point agency on this Better Buildings Challenge. Some of the things we're working on with them, one is develop a compilation of case studies of commercial buildings that have undergone what's referred to as a deep energy retrofit. Take 15, 18 commercial properties from around the country and essentially do a before and after. Here's what the building was worth as far as return on investment before they made these improvements. Here's what it's worth after. Some improvements may have no impact on value, others may have significant impact. But they want to publish this series of case studies that will be a joint Department of Energy Foundation publication, and my guess is it'll become a tool for educators. It'll be part of coursework down the road. We're also, and this is important, you know, appraisers, when it comes to green buildings, or it comes to anything, but particularly green buildings, you need data. Show me, you know, just because you want to live or occupy a green building, is it really worth anymore just because of the desire? Well, to its credit, the Department of Energy is developing a couple databases, and they've asked the foundation to appoint a couple people to that as they're creating it, as opposed to going through the whole thing of creating it and then saying to the appraisers, does this do any good for you? And you go, as a matter of fact, absolutely no good. So I think they should be credited for reaching out to us early on like that. One is the National Buildings Performance Database, where they're going to be tracking green and non-green buildings and sales data to see what the difference is. And the other one is a home energy efficiency scoring, where down the road, homes will probably get some type of a score, just like you see on the back of major appliances and things like that as far as energy efficiency. So, and that's the quick overview, the quick and dirty there. And Jim and I look forward to your questions. Thank you very much.